here's little Billy reading a book.
And here's the WWE Sinner, confused as hell about what the fuck is going on in this opening video package.
We have no mercy.
Very nice, but that still doesn't explain how this old school family has anything to do with the pay-per-view event titled No Mercy.
One more shot at the brass ring.
Jeff Hardy gets one more shot at the WWE Championship, and by one more shot, we mean this pay-per-view, and the one after that, and the one after that, and the one after that. I'm not kidding, Jeff Hardy gets more undeserved rematches after being beaten fair and square by Triple H every single time. The one thing that kinda derailed his eventual win many months and pay-per-views later. You know I just can't resist. Here's a sin-off for an absolutely badass theme song for No Mercy. Really gets you pumped.
Billy?
Will you stop showing this old school family already? It's just reminding me more and more about how much I miss humanity actually being decent with each other.
Oh, hi, Mark.
I mean, I've never been in the ring with that kind of physicality.
Jerry Lawler lists Mark Henry as one of his most fearsome opponents, something he does every time he mentions a wrestler he competed against.
You're probably still feeling the effects of that match.
Years later.
Yeah, no. I highly doubt that Jerry Lawler is still feeling the effects of a match that took place between him and Mark Henry 12 years ago.
Mark Henry is slammed, nailed into 2x4s.
To which Hacksaw Jim Duggan whacked Mark in the head with a 2x4 after getting pissed off at him for doing that. Also, yes, we get it. Mark Henry is the world's strongest man, but all this hype and everything he bent or crushed is just setting him up for humiliation once Matt Hardy defeats him in this ECW Championship match.
Yes!
Matt Hardy deserves the removal of his sin for showing the fans and other wrestlers the proper way to deal with your bigger opponents. You chop down their legs. Nowadays, the little guys just try and fail to lift their bigger opponents in 40-minute matches they ultimately lose.
Something you don't see very often. Mark Henry on the mat.
Actually, that is something we have seen several times over the course of Mark Henry's career. Mark down on the mat not being often is bullshit, otherwise he'd be close to undefeated.
Oh!
Wait, what? Mark Henry had his leg nearly crushed several times by Matt Hardy, yet he doesn't wince in pain after putting the full body weight on the injured leg?
Still just catching Matt in midair, but look at Matt going.
Here's another sin-out because the way Matt defeated Mark was done in a very believable way. Countered the world's strongest slam by smacking the injured leg, allowing the twist of fate to be connected. Great ending to the match. Matt Hardy successfully retains his ECW championship, but then bounces in the ring as if he's waiting for a second opponent. Even if this mobile text voting poll makes sense in terms of what's going on tonight at No Mercy, it's still annoying as hell to see this at pretty much every 2008 pay-per-view.
See, I've just voted myself, and I'm rooting for you.
That doesn't make any sense.
But I wouldn't worry about texting.
What you should be worried about is why you're hunched over talking to Triple H as if he was the same size as Hornswoggle.
I'll take pride in taking your title.
I guess we didn't have enough time on SmackDown the last few weeks to allow Triple H and Jeff Hardy to have a face-to-face confrontation about their upcoming WWE title match. Beth Phoenix tells Santino Marella to not be at ringside for a match with Candice Michelle, and Santino's response is to be at ringside. How the hell has Beth not kicked Santino's ass yet?
Big night for her. What? Let me enjoy this.
Pervert.
And she's not gonna.
Beth Phoenix actually thought that Candice Michelle would easily fall for the simple grab to the shoulder without doing anything. Beth is an idiot.
I don't know what's going on. Oh, it's Seguri.
There's a double sin right there because Beth Phoenix turned her head before Candice Michelle could even connect the enziguri, and because of that, Candice missed the enziguri completely.
It was back at No Mercy last year. Beth Phoenix won the women's championship.
Wait, what? Michael Cole thinks that Beth Phoenix has been the women's champion for a damn year? You do realize she lost the title to Mickie James earlier this year, then won it back at SummerSlam, right? Discrediting Mickie James as garbage.
I'm glad Candice didn't.
Beth Phoenix merely fell back after Candice hit a dropkick. What does Beth think she's doing, competing in a trust fall game or something? That was terrible.
Santino pleading with...
Damn, all that momentum just for a soft dropkick to Beth Phoenix's hair? Why are the women's matches of 2008 so pathetic? It's like they're not even trying at all.
Candice could steal one here!
Commentator stupidly refers to a roll-up as stealing the victory cliche. Oh, please just let this match end already. This is torture. Beth Phoenix is why haven't I kicked this guy's ass already face, and I'm totally on board with that idea. Go ahead, kick his ass. No? Just gonna keep hanging out with him for reasons that remain unknown? Okay, do what you please.
And it won't just be your mask.
We automatically know that Rey Mysterio is winning this match because the rules state he has to unmask if he loses. Sure, Rey has been unmasked at several points in his wrestling career, but when he's required to do it by match stipulation, you already know he's gonna win. Boy, this sign is definitely going to be controversial and awkward in about 12 years from now, am I right?
I hope that's not in Ray's future. Look at this.
What?
They could be content.
Despite the rules stating that Rey has to remove his mask if he loses the match, Kane decides to simply take it off now. If he succeeds, what does Rey have to remove next? His pants? Kane trying to get kinky here with Rey?
Keep it in the ring.
What was with Rey Mysterio's hesitation? Kane was in the perfect position to get hit with a crossbody outside the ring, but Rey hesitated? Well, the result is Kane counters, so that's Rey's own fault for being a dumbass.
Rey Mysterio!
Rey Mysterio has a sleeper hold locked in on Kane outside the ring, which makes me question something. What would happen if both men got counted out? Wouldn't that technically mean Rey loses the match, thus having to unmask? Why am I asking these questions? This was 13 years ago and it's never going to be addressed. In his attempt to check on Rey to see if he's okay, the referee almost threw himself out of the ring to the floor. Could you imagine if that's how the referee cliche gets activated? More attempted mask ripping, which further makes this match's stipulation absolutely pointless since Kane can just rip it off right here, right now.
Here's the cover! And a kick out at 2!
That was a kick out at 1, you moron.
Oh!
The fuck was that supposed to be, a bulldog? More like a bulldog that had too much liquor, am I right?
619!
Ooh, looks like Kane isn't the only one trying to get kinky with his opponent tonight. 619 spanking by Rey Mysterio. Well, so much for all that. 3 weeks of build-up with Kane wanting to tear off Rey Mysterio's mask and having a match stipulation dedicated to that, all just for Kane to get himself intentionally disqualified and walk away. Well, this was pointless.
Then I'm not in a match tonight.
MVP and his constant complaints about not having a match at No Mercy shockingly takes longer than I'd be interested in. Also, and I'm not kidding you either, it takes nearly 30 damn minutes before the next match takes place. Either they didn't have enough matches on the card, or they cut a lot of them very short for reasons unknown.
I will take care of it, and then I'll call you back.
Who the hell was MVP even talking to in the first place?
Hey, wait.
Honestly, this would have been the best time to end the segment, but guess what? We gotta do an entire in-ring addition to MVP's complaining. If you're in line at the concessions, take your time with what you want to order. You ain't missing anything of importance.
Who the number one
Michael Cole is just as confused and annoyed as I am. Because of the segment, the World Heavyweight Championship #1 contenders match between Dave Bautista and JBL was reduced to a 5-minute squash fest, and that's worth adding 10 sins.
If you're the Cavaliers, you don't sit LeBron James.
And if you're creating a sequel to Space Jam, you don't cast LeBron James either. But what's your point?
And Vicky Guerrero can't understand.
Much as Randy Orton is badass and the Voices theme is still fresh at the time, this is really irritating. We're basically watching an impromptu segment with wrestlers who weren't scheduled to be competing at the pay-per-view, just so the fans could witness everyone on the roster. While you're at it, bring in the injured John Cena.
I've seen you in action. The last time was WrestleMania.
Apparently the last time Randy Orton saw MVP compete was WrestleMania 24, even though MVP literally had pay-per-view matches the last few months in a row.
Where I went on to win the main event.
If Randy Orton won the main event of WrestleMania 24, then why is The Undertaker's undefeated streak still alive? Oh yeah, because Randy wasn't in the main event! Oh come on, can we please just get to the next match? This segment is still going on!
You know something, Orton?
The fans will be great at Son of a Sins 2 expansion because, yes, this entire segment is boring and does nothing for the next few weeks on Raw. Move along, please.
Excuse me!
Who are you, Vicky Guerrero? Here's what I don't get. This turned from MVP having problems with Vicky Guerrero to the Legacy having problems with Randy Orton while MVP is forgotten in the background. They can't even be consistent with this segment.
Coming soon to a WWE Ring 2012.
Whereas MVP will be nowhere to be found and left in total obscurity. Well, at least he got the Randy Orton competes part correct.
Then I will remember this conversation.
MVP forgets this conversation.
about not being a match.
Oh my god! How much longer is this segment going to last? We're probably going to bring out The Miz and John Morrison next, followed by The Rock. What are the odds that this match was delayed for about 20 minutes because JBL's limo was stuck in traffic here in Portland? As if we didn't wait long enough for the next match to take place following that random and incredibly boring segment, now we gotta wait almost a whole minute in between entrances. This show is probably teaching us about patience and I'm failing the test.
And they are watching all over.
Commentator states the amount of countries watching the show and then goes on to repeat that same amount later in the night cliche. Well, that was awkward. JBL reversed the Irish whip, and then both wrestlers forgot who was supposed to counter what before Dave quickly hit a clothesline. But not before I noticed. It really sucks when you rush through matches on your pay-per-view events. No joke, the first 5 matches at this No Mercy event were 10 minutes or less, with each of them not picking up until the last minute. What the actual hell?
This has been
the worst No Mercy pay-per-view you have ever seen? Don't worry, JBL, I agree with you wholeheartedly. This show sucks so far. Also, more and more talking segments. Did they really have little to no plan for this event?
God bless me.
I lost this match in 5 minutes and got absolutely humiliated, but God bless me because I have money and the Obamas apparently bailed me out. Something I don't even think JBL believes.
Yo, 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 yo!
Are you freaking kidding me? Now we gotta watch Crime Time take away JBL's limousine and party in it? Holy shit, there's so much randomness going on tonight. Here are 30 extra sins, my head hurts.
Kiss my feet and apologize.
Vicky Guerrero actually believes that The Undertaker is going to kiss her feet and apologize because she has the Big Show on her side. Boy, she's an idiot.
To seek retribution.
With how many times the word retribution has been used tonight instead of no mercy, I'm honestly amazed that didn't end up being the name of the pay-per-view. This shot is honestly a lot cooler than I first realized. The ring around the Big Show is clear, meanwhile The Undertaker is surrounded by his fog as he prepares for battle. What a great shot. With how much these two were outside the ring throughout the match, and with the event title No Mercy, the WWE should have honestly made this match a no disqualification match. The feud was far too destructive to warrant traditional wrestling matches.
Able to deliver that knee drop.
Knee drop? The Undertaker has hit that leg drop on the ring apron several times for many, many years, yet Jim Ross forgot that it's not his knee being driven into the Big Show?
Again, the powerful.
Normally, I'd be excited for a match involving The Undertaker and the Big Show, but I was left in disappointment after this was almost a 10-minute squash match where Big Show dominated nearly the entire thing and won by knockout. Undertaker hardly got that much offense at all. The Undertaker given a shout-out conveniently to the one wrestler the entire world wanted him to face but never got the chance. And now I'm sad because I too hope to see that match with Sting one day. Oh well.
Uh-oh.
Even if you're dominating the match, understand something, Big Show. This is The Undertaker you're facing! After The Undertaker ducked the knockout punch the first time, why didn't Big Show aim for the gut the second time? Can't duck that if you're running off the ropes. The ends of Big Show's feet are clearly underneath the ropes in the shot, yet the referee completely ignores it. Hope he doesn't end up getting knocked out.
Big Show's down on the knee. Undertaker.
Nothing's funnier than seeing the referee piss himself in fear when The Undertaker gets in his face.
And a cheap shot.
Apparently, the knockout punch from the Big Show qualifies as a cheap shot despite being 100% legal and fair. Also, the charade continues. The match is starting to build up after a lot of filler, only to end immediately. Pretty sad if you ask me. About 2 to 3 minutes of watching Undertaker struggling to get back to his feet. After the quick matches we've had tonight, I'm not surprised we have a lot of time to kill.
This match is not about brass ring.
Even though the entire build-up to this match is Jeff Hardy being unable to collect the brass ring, that being the WWE Championship. But all of a sudden, this is not for brass rings. Did this just get changed to a non-title match?
This will be Jeff Hardy's first ever one-on-one match.
Apparently, this is Jeff Hardy's first one-on-one match for the WWE Championship despite competing against The Undertaker in a ladder match years ago and literally having a one-on-one WWE title match against Randy Orton at this year's Royal Rumble.
A complete student of the game.
Wah, wah.
Respect you. Speaking of all.
Jeff Hardy is an idiot for falling for that. Did he actually think turning his back on Triple H during a WWE Championship match was a good idea? No wonder he keeps failing to beat him.
Jeff Hardy, I respect him.
Jeff Hardy prepared to throw himself back before Hunter could even connect the shoulder block. Careful guys, I'm still in a pissed off mood. Ouch! Won't matter how many times we see scenes like this, you can feel the pain of that crash every time. Jeff Hardy is quite a risk taker.
And the count is a 3.
Probably shouldn't have prematurely declared this to be the winning pinfall for Triple H, JR.
Oh, here comes Hardy. Oh.
Either Hunter merely lost his balance and fell back, or Jeff Hardy tapped into the force to connect the enziguri that ended up missing his opponent completely.
And the...
Jeff Hardy is addicted to Hunter's Hearst Helmsleys, and to this day, I don't understand how that move doesn't qualify as a low blow when Jeff's intention is to drop below the belt on his opponents.
What a main event here tonight!
Jim Ross doesn't realize that this match is not the main event. There is still a ladder match for the World Heavyweight Championship to take place. That is the main event of the show, not this one. With all the times Jim Ross or Taz keep repeating that a new champion is going to be crowned, it's a no wonder Jeff Hardy keeps losing these WWE title matches. Everyone seems to jinx him. I will honestly remove 5 cents for that ending. Everything about it led the entire audience to believe this was Jeff Hardy's moment to finally become WWE Champion, only for Hunter to suddenly reverse the pinfall and retain his championship. Work to the storyline build-up of Jeff almost achieving his dream, only to be 1 second off, just like an Unforgiven. Pretty awkward for Vladimir Kozlov to get himself prepared, put on his wrestling gear and elbow pads, all just to stare at Triple H for 15 seconds. Easy money, I guess. Look, I get that Chris Jericho and Shawn Michaels had the best rivalry of 2008, but Shawn gets granted a World Heavyweight Championship match just because. And rivalry or not, that's just wrong. He should have at least earned a title match first.
All these table, ladders, and chairs.
Chris Jericho walks underneath the ladder giving himself bad luck. Guarantee he told Lance K to arrive and help him win just in case he made a huge mistake doing that. About 75 seconds of waiting for Shawn Michaels to make his entrance. Boy, does that get annoying after doing that almost every match. And after the ring introductions are over and everyone has left the ring to make room for these two, the match still doesn't begin for another minute and a half just to allow this stare down to happen. You can still ring the bell, everyone's safely distanced.
Look at Jericho. Remember, no pinfalls or...
Try telling Chris Jericho that.
It's a ladder, and he's got to climb a ladder to do it. And Shawn Michaels.
Chris Jericho was watching Shawn Michaels climb the ladder the entire time and could have easily sidestepped or backed up a couple steps at any moment, but somehow he didn't see Shawn coming.
There from Jericho.
Chris Jericho is an idiot.
Expected unforgiving. And here tonight.
Creative as that move was, you could clearly see Chris Jericho standing around waiting for Shawn Michaels to do something. Don't you just love it when people are late to the party?
Busted lip from that ladder.
I loved this match when I first watched it, and now here I am asking myself how the hell I missed out on all these botched slip-ups. Ceiling cam. Now that is worth taking another sin off. The creativity was amazing with Chris Jericho kicking the ladder, causing the other side to hit Shawn Michaels in the head. Taking off another sin for that amount of brutality. 13 years later, I still cringe in pain seeing Shawn getting his head sandwiched in the ladder. I'd say my head hurts from that, but this entire event hurt my head, so it's hard to tell. So, was that supposed to be a back suplex or a cross body counter through the table? Or a mixture of both that ended up not looking good? Probably that last one.
Aim to the heart!
Much as that had hurt Chris Jericho, Shawn Michaels takes the worst damage in that elbow drop. Not to mention, Michael Cole said the ladder was on Chris's heart when it was clearly on his legs. Unless Chris's heart magically transported to his legs. I won't lie, I was scared shitless that Chris Jericho was going to be seriously hurt legitimately. They did a great job making this ladder match exciting at the end with what was a terrible No Mercy event.
Michaels a hand away from becoming the...
Honestly, what's stopping Shawn from simply unstrapping the World Heavyweight Championship right here? His hand just has to come down and he's the champion. Even if Chris Jericho rushed in this moment, he still could have won the match. This dumbass Lance K getting involved in pretty much everything during this feud, and it never pays off for him either when it's all said and done. After this feud ends, Lance disappears and gets released from WWE. This tug of war was the perfect ending to the ladder match, really made us all wonder who's going to have the belt in the end.